Hi everybody, my name is Karen. Welcome to your Introduction to Philosophy class. I just want to give you a course overview so that you know how to navigate some of the features in the course, and hopefully this brief session will give you some tips on how to get through each section and what we'll be going over. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And here we have the home page, which you'll come to when you first log into the class. You'll notice up here at the top, there's an announcement section. Pay attention to that announcement section each week. I usually post several announcements, and that'll give you some information about what's going on for the week, any changes there have been to the course, any updates, and sometimes the administration will post an announcement there as well. So it's always a good place to go to for tips and tricks and details of the course. And then the next thing you'll see here is a brief welcome to our course, Introduction to Philosophy, a little description, and then as we navigate further down, you'll see a Start Here course orientation button. That's where you will begin the course and go through all the materials. I'll click on that in a minute, but I also wanted to point out that you can reach all of the modules for this course. There are 10 of them right down here on the home page, or you can also navigate over here to the left where it says modules, and that's right under the syllabus, which we'll be going over shortly. So let's go ahead and navigate to the course orientation page by clicking on this button. And you'll notice that there are several things to look through, and here's where you should begin. It'll give you some useful information about myself, the instructor. And here I have my name, my email address, my office hours when you can get in touch with me. I'll respond to student emails within 24 hours, and then I usually provide grades and feedback on assignments within 4 to 5 days. And here's a little bio about me if you want to get to know me a little bit better and my experience. So you'll also see in the course orientation that there are some technology requirements for the course, and you'll be able to go through these various links to make sure that you're all set up and have all of the software and hardware that you need for the course. The course communications section goes over how to contact your instruction. The Canvas inbox, which is where you'll email me, is right over here, all the way to the left on the menu bar under the calendar. Here we also have a course policies page, the textbook and required materials, and then some various rubrics according to what you'll be assessed on in the course. We also have a questions area where you can ask questions. So if you think it may be a question that will pertain to other people, feel free to ask it here, or you can also send me a private email. And please note that in the Meet the Instructor area, I also listed my phone number if you needed to get in contact with me by phone for any reason or to send me a text. Then we have our first discussion, and that's the student introductions. That's a very important discussion to participate in. I'll click on it now. As you'll see, we're going to be participating in an icebreaker, having a little fun here and getting to know one another. But this introduction needs to be completed during the first week of class to verify your attendance. So if it isn't completed, you'll be considered a no-show and automatically withdrawn from the course. So you'll want to make sure that you post something right away in this area. We'll navigate back to the module page. we'll scroll down here to the first module. Each of the modules is set up according to the textbook that you have. And we'll be going over each of the 9 chapters. So module 1 will cover the first chapter, Philosophy and You, and all of our modules are set up the same. So we'll start with a course overview. I've posted a video to give you a detailed overview of what we'll be covering in module 1, and then also the learning outcomes. And once you've watched the video, and there's a video transcript for you here, then you can take a look at our learning outcomes, and then click on this link here that says Module 1 Activities. Our activities page details what we'll be covering during the week. So it'll tell you that you'll be reading the first chapter of our textbook. There are some optional resources for you to go through that'll provide you with additional information on the subjects that we're covering in the text. And then our activities will be listed out here. For each module, we have a discussion, an assignment, and a quiz. And it's the same for all 9 modules. And then our last module, module 10, will be a little bit different because it'll have our final paper, our final presentation, and our final exam. And so once we get down to that module, I think you'll be very familiar with how to navigate the course. And of course, if you have questions, you can always contact me by email or phone or chat. So let's go back here to our modules page. And you can see all of the things I just talked about right here in the modules page. You can see our discussion, our assignment, and the quiz. And when you click on those, they'll give detailed instructions for all of those things. Another thing that I wanted to point out is the syllabus, which is located right here above the modules section. The syllabus is embedded right here into Canvas, so you don't need to click on any additional files. And on the syllabus, you'll have information about my office hours, my faculty response, the core competencies, the text. So some of this information is a repeat of what you saw in the course orientation. The attendance policy, participation details, and then how I accept late work. Usually students are concerned about turning things in late, and I do accept late work for a reduction in points in a non-emergency situation, and if it is an emergency situation, then there would be no deduction in points. So I take late discussions up until the end of the week, but after the week closes, then the discussions will close unless prior arrangements have been made, and we can discuss that personally if there's been an emergency. Assignments, quizzes, and exams, except for the final exam, receive a 10% deduction per day, and if your assignment is more than 5 days late, you'll receive an automatic 50%. And then the final exam cannot be accepted late. So I also allow you to revise anything that is below a C. So if you receive a D or an F on something for any reason, you can revise that. And then you'll notice the course schedule, what we're going to be covering each week, with a detailed list of the major topics, the chapter we'll be reading, the assignments due, and their due dates. You can also find due dates by going back to the module and clicking on the activity itself. For example, if you click on Module 1 Discussion, you'll see here up in the corner that it's due on September 30th. And one last thing I'll point out that'll be helpful to you is our calendar all the way over here on the left-hand side. If you click Calendar, all of our discussions, assignments, and quizzes are located on the calendar. And as soon as you complete something like the student introduction or discussion, it'll cross that off as having been complete. So this is a really nice feature and way to keep track of the way that, or how far along you are in the class. So I hope this overview has been helpful to you, and please reach out if you have any questions. I'll see you in the classroom.